Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India, India's voice to the world. This is Sports Buzz. I'm Tanvi Taneja, coming up in the next half an hour. India captain Rohit Sharma to miss the first test of the Border Gavaskar Trophy against Australia starting on November 22nd. Jasprit Bumrah to lead the squad at Perth. World number one Yannick Sinner defeats Taylor Fritz to clinch the ATP Finals title. ATP Finals to be staged in Italy until 2030. And Indian men's football team to face Malaysia in a one-off international friendly match in Hyderabad today. Rohit Sharma will not be available to lead India in the first test against Australia, which starts on November 22nd in Perth. Rohit Sharma was recently blessed with a baby boy. He will join the India squad ahead of the second test starting on December 6th in Adelaide. Vice-captain Jasprit Bumrah is set to lead the team. Bumrah has led India in one test previously against England when Rohit had tested positive for COVID-19. Devdutt Padikkal, who is touring with the Indian A squad in Australia, is likely to be added in the squad. KL Rahul shrugged off injury concerns as he returned to batting during the team's training session on Sunday at Perth in Australia. Rahul left the field early in India's intra-squad match simulation on Friday after being struck on the elbow by a rising delivery from Prasidh Krishna. The blow left him grimacing and he trudged off the ground after seeking medical attention. Rahul did not return to the crease later that day. But Rahul was put through a solid workout during India's training session on Sunday morning that lasted nearly 3 hours. Former Indian women's cricket captain Mithali Raj has been appointed as the mentor of women's cricket operations by the Andhra Cricket Association. The 41-year-old Mithali is widely regarded as one of the greatest female cricketers and has signed a 3-year contract with the ACA. Her primary responsibility will be to scout and nurture young talent across the state with a focus on developing the next generation of women cricketers. Retiring from international cricket in 2022, she has long been an advocate for women's sports and will bring her extensive knowledge and expertise to her new role with the Andhra Cricket Association. England sealed a 3-1 win in its T20 International Series against West Indies when the fifth and the final match was abandoned after 5 overs because of rain. West Indies reached 44 for no loss at the end of the 5th over after losing the toss when torrential rain began to fall. Evan Lewis was 29 not out and Shai Hope was on 14. With no hope of the rain abating and the outfield already soaked, the umpires made the decision to call off play with no result. England won the first 3 matches of the series by 8 wickets, 7 wickets and 3 wickets respectively. West Indies won the 4th match on Saturday by 5 wickets in a record run chase. The home team previously won the ODI series 2-1. Kusal Mendes overcame injury to score a half-century that helped Sri Lanka beat New Zealand by 3 wickets in their rain-shortened second one-day international at Pallekele and clinched the 3-match series 2-0. Chasing 210 to win, Sri Lanka struggled for partnerships on a turning pitch and were in trouble at 93 for 5, but Kusal managed a groin issue sustained early in his innings to make an unbeaten 74 of 102 balls that took his side home. Late cameos by Janit Leange, Dunit Velalage and Mahesh Tikshana also eased the nerves of the hosts, who were rocked by the spin of Michael Bracewell. It was Sri Lanka's first ODI series victory over New Zealand since the 2012 and their 5th bilateral series win of 2024. On to tennis now. Italian world number one Yannick Sinner has achieved another remarkable feat as he defeated American Taylor Fritz in straight sets to clinch the ATP Finals title. Sinner next heads to Italy, where he will hope to a successful defence of its Davis Cup title.
Home favourite and world number one Yannick Sinner became the first Italian to win the ATP Finals title following a dominant 6-4, 6-4 victory over American Taylor Fritz. Sinner's triumph on home soil was the latest memory of glory in a near-perfect year in which the 23-year-old won 8 tournaments, including his debut Grand Slam victories at the Australian and US Opens. Sinner hailed this as a special week after winning year-end ATP number one trophy earlier this week.
Yeah, for sure it was a very high quality week, starting from the beginning, trying to understand the pace of the court, which then increased a little bit, which is normal because it was a bit more consumed, and I just tried to play the best possible tennis I could in every single moment, which I've done here, and then the crowd helped me a lot. So it was for sure one of the most special weeks I've had in a tennis court. So I'm very happy to have this trophy.
World number one Sinner again swept Fritz aside in straight sets, just as he did in the US Open final in September, improving his record on hard courts this year to 50-3. His tour-leading 70th win of the season made him the first player since Ivan Lendl in 1986 to win the tournament without dropping a set.
It's tough to say. I mean, it's my goal was to understand what I can achieve. No, this year there was no specific goal of winning a Grand Slam or being number one or whatever, and it's gonna be the same next year. Me always try to improve as a player, and then trying to understand what I can do better. And this week was something where I always felt the ball very good, and even in practice sessions it was very smooth going, and the connection with the crowd was very nice. So let's see what's coming next year. It's the future nobody can predict.
Despite Fritz's best efforts, he couldn't fight back, failing to get a single break point in the second set. Fritz fell short in his bid to become the event's first American champion since Pete Sampras in 1999, although he rose to a career best of fourth in the ATP rankings on Monday. Meanwhile, world number one Sinner will now head to Malaga, where he hopes to lead Italy to a successful defense of its Davis Cup title. Sports Desk, DD India.
And the Italian Tennis Federation announced that the ATP Finals will be continued to be staged in Italy until 2030. The decision follows the successful run of the event in Turin, which was initially scheduled to host the season-ending tournament until 2025. The tournament the tournament, boosted by the presence of local hero and world number one Yannick Sinner, drew nearly 200,000 fans this year, with all 15 sessions of the 8-day event sold out. ATP chairman Andrea Gondesi said the ATP Finals has firmly established its legacy in Italy as a premier global sporting event. Together with FITP, we aim to continue enhancing the experience for players and fans. Emma Raducanu and Katie Boulter combined once again to lead Great Britain into the Billie Jean King Cup semi-finals at the expense of defending champions Canada. British number 2 Raducanu opened the quarter-final tie with a 6-0 7-5 win against Canada's Rebecca Marino. Boulter, the British number 1, then sealed her nation's place in the last 4 of the women's team event by beating Leila Fernandez. Britain are one of the only 4 nations alongside Australia, France and Italy to have competed in the tournament every season since it was launched in 1963. However, they are the only one of those teams to have never lifted the trophy, losing in 4 finals. And Spanish tennis player Rafael Nadal has said that he will have no regrets when he retires from professional tennis. Nadal will receive an emotional tribute when he appears for Spain at the Davis Cup this week. The 22-time Grand Slam champion will partner with 4-time major champion Carlos Alcaraz after the duo played together at the Paris Olympics. 38-year-old Nadal was a surprise selection for the competition after last competing at the Paris Games in July and subsequently missing the US Open and Laver Cup over fitness concerns. Nadal will hang up his racket after Davis Cup Finals campaign against the Netherlands, which begins on November 19th. Next news from the world of hockey. Defending champions India will face Japan in the semi-finals of the Women's Asians Hockey Champions Trophy on Tuesday, while China will play third-placed Malaysia in the other last 4 games. Earlier, the women's hockey team beat Japan 3-0 in its final pool match on Sunday. Navneet Kaur broke the deadlock in the third quarter, while Deepika Kumari converted 2 penalty corners to secure a resounding win. India have finished at the top of the standings with a perfect record of 15 points from 5 matches. Meanwhile, Japan finished 4th with 5 points to take the last semi-final berth. The Indian men's football team will face Malaysia in a one-off international friendly match in Hyderabad on Monday. The match will be the 33rd meeting between the two Asian nations, with the first dating back to 1957. India have not played any other opponent on more occasions. As far as the head-to-head record is concerned, India and Malaysia have both won 12 matches each, while 8 have ended in draws. Malaysia won 4-2 when the two sides met the last time in the Merdeka Cup semi-finals in 2023. Manolo Marquez has taken over India's reins from Igor Stymac after the Blue Tigers failed to qualify for the round 3 of the FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifiers. Next updates from the UEFA Nations League. Portugal trained in the coastal city of Split ahead of the upcoming UEFA Nations League match against Croatia, aiming to secure an additional 3 points in their unbeaten run. Portuguese defender João Cancelo remains confident in the team's ability to perform despite top players Cristiano Ronaldo, Pedro Neto, Bernardo Silva and Bruno Fernandes being released from the match by the manager Roberto Martinez. Meanwhile, Croatia is not taking the match lightly. The team's coach Zlatko Dalic stressed that they will not be playing for a draw despite needing only a point to progress to the quarterfinals. Portugal is already assured of a quarterfinal spot and currently leads their group unbeaten with 13 points and sits 6 clear of Croatia, who suffered a 1-0 defeat against Scotland. Portuguese defender João Cancelo remains confident in the team's ability to perform despite top players Cristiano Ronaldo, Pedro Neto, Bernardo Silva and Bruno Fernandes being released from the match from the manager Roberto Martinez.
To finish the group phase in the highest level. Obviously, it's not just a game tomorrow. It's a lot of work that's been going on behind the scenes in September, October, and then now during November. So obviously, I expect a very tough game. Croatia needs a positive result to qualify. A team that I love to watch.
Our coach decided to give some rest to Cristiano, who is the best player in Portugal of all time. And we are here to make sure we represent him, and also Bruno Fernandes and Pedro Neto, because we are all very united group and we want to represent Portugal in the best way, knowing that they will not able to help, but we will try the best we can to get the victory.
Adrien Rabiot fired France to first place in the Nations League Group A2 with a headed brace in Sunday's 3-1 win over Italy at San Siro. France needed a 2-goal win to overtake Italy, and they delivered in style at San Siro. Adrien Rabiot opened the scoring with a powerful header from Lucas Digne's pinpoint corner in just the second minute. Rabiot's double and a Lucas Digne-inspired masterclass propelled France to the glory. The win pushed France to 13 points.
Stunning lakes. There is something to explore in every corner of the state. And some adventures are wilder than others. This is incredible. Watch postcards from Goa on National Geographic.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Sports Buzz. I am Tanvi Taneja. Lee Carsley's brief stay as England manager has ended with a 5-0 win over Ireland. The win ensured that England returned to the top tier of the Nations League, with Carsley winning 5 of his 6 games. Carsley was given a 6-game brief stint following the departure of Gareth Southgate. He will now hand the keys to Thomas Tuchel, who begins his new role in January.
England romped to 5-0 win over Ireland and secured promotion back to the top tier of the Nations League, but there was a twist in the tale. The triumph ended Lee Carsley's interim spell as England's manager. Carsley, who was given a 6-game brief stint following the departure of Gareth Southgate after Euro 2024 loss, will now hand the keys to Thomas Tuchel, who begins his new role in January. During his brief stay at the helm, Carsley has overseen the Nations League campaign, winning 5 out of 6 matches. With a host of regulars unavailable for the last 2 games in charge, Carsley gave opportunities to several new players who he believes can be part of Tuchel's plan for World Cup qualification campaign. We will debrief the 3 camps we have had, but not just this camp. I will put together a document and then hopefully go to meet Tuchel and present what we think and what we found. The job is for us as to support the senior manager as much as we can, find out what he needs and how we can help. The challenge now for the players that have been involved for the last 3 camps is to be in around the March squad. A lot of them have done themselves a lot of good in terms of enhancing their reputations. Carsley hands over the reins with England in good shape. He plans to meet former Bayern Munich and Chelsea boss Tuchel to present him with information about the squad ahead of next year's World Cup qualifiers. England will begin the Tuchel era focused on winning the World Cup for the first time since 1966. Sports Desk, DD India.
Israel debutant Yardin Shua scored an 86th minute winner as they upset more fancied Belgium 1-0 in Budapest. But the win was not enough for them to avoid relegation from the Nations League top tier. Shua, who had come on as a second-half substitute, took advantage of a defensive mistake from Mate Smets to earn Israel their first win in Group A2, moving them level on 4 points with third-placed Belgium in the final standings. However, Belgium avoided finishing bottom due to a better head-to-head record after beating Israel 3-1 in September. The result will heap more pressure on to beleaguered Belgian coach Domenico Tedesco, while Israel will be delighted with 4 points from their last 2 matches after holding France to a goalless draw in Paris on Thursday. Inter Miami star Lionel Messi and his national teammates trained ahead of their next FIFA World Cup qualifier against Peru. Argentina hosts Peru on Tuesday at the Alberto Armando Stadium in Buenos Aires off the back of a shock 2-1 loss away to Paraguay last week. World Cup holders Argentina top CONMEBOL, qualifying with 22 points from 11 games, while Peru sit 9th on 7 points. The top 6 teams will qualify automatically for the 2026 World Cup hosted by United States, Mexico and Canada. Ahead of the upcoming bocce and bowling competition in New Delhi, Special Olympics Bharat hosted a vibrant harmony event at the Tyagaraja Stadium. The program brought together 15 special athletes, legendary singer Amit Kumar and other celebrated artists. Special Olympics Bharat chairperson Dr. Malika Nadda and Member of Parliament Manoj Tiwari honoured the special athletes during the event. Take a look.
Ahead of the bocce and the bowling competition in New Delhi, Special Olympic Bharat organized a special harmony event at Tyagaraja Stadium. The program featured 15 special athletes alongside legendary singer Amit Kumar and other renowned artists. Special Olympic Bharat President Dr. Malika Nadda and Member of Parliament Manoj Tiwari felicitated the special children. The event also showcased the musical talent of special athletes.
The message of inclusion, the message of unity, the message that we want to give through this program is that every child has got an ability, a talent. We need to showcase their talent, find their talents, and let them grow and give them a stage where they can perform. And this is how we can make a more inclusive society and a more inclusive world.
स्पेशल बच्चों को जो खेल में भी रहते हैं और लोगों को चुन चुन कर उनको किसी को म्यूजिक का मौका दे रहे हैं, किसी को दौड़ का मौका दे रहे हैं, म्यूजिकली छोटे छोटे दौड़ आयोजित करके इससे जो इनका जो ऊर्जा बढ़ेगी वो खेल में भी दिखेगी.
Amit Kumar performed iconic melodies with the children, leaving the audience deeply moved. The involvement of special athletes added a unique charm to the program, making it an unforgettable experience. The evening was more than a concert. It celebrated the boundless potential within every individual. Narayan Sikh's report for DD India.
Next, let's talk about chess. Five-time world champion Magnus Carlsen continues his domination at the Tata Steel Chess 2024 in Kolkata as he clinched the Blitz title with a round to spare. This comes after he came out on top and won the Rapid title on Friday. The Norwegian Grandmaster beat Vincent Keymer and Daniel Dubov to make sure that the Rapid title was his with a round to spare. Earlier, Indian chess player Arjun Ergyasi has stunned Carlsen to a rare defeat during the championship. Ergyasi checkmated Carlsen in just 20 moves to hand him his first defeat in the tournament. On to badminton. India's premier men's doubles pair of Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty will return to action at the China Masters Super 750 badminton tournament on Tuesday. The former world #1 duo had been sidelined from competitive action post the Paris Olympics due to Satvik's shoulder injury. Their absence from the circuit led them to miss several high-profile tournaments, including the Arctic Open, Denmark Open and China Open. Fresh off to a lengthy recovery, Satvik and Chirag will aim to regain their momentum despite having been without a coach since Matthias Bo's departure in August. Spain's rider Jorge Martin claimed his first Moto GP World Championship title after he finished third in the season-ending Solidarity Grand Prix in Barcelona on Sunday. The race was won by his title rival Francesco Bagnaia. Martin headed into the final race of the season with 19 points lead, and the Spaniard needed to finish in the top 9 to clinch the title. Bagnaia had done everything to close the gap in the title race, including victory in the final Grand Prix, which was his 11th win of the season. But Martin's 32 podium finishes in the season earned him the title by 10 points.
Was the point when I started to realize, I was started thinking about my family, like my career was coming through my lens. I could see my dad, my mom, when I was so young, and I started to think too much, but then I refocused and I said, okay, Jorge, you need to finish the job, so it's not over till it's over, so let's try to finish the race.
So that's all for this edition of DD India's Sport Buzz. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And for those on the go, you can catch all the latest news and updates from India and the world on our DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. We'll be back with more news as it breaks out on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.